Hey guys, Urban Reddit here, back with another Reddit series. Let's get right into it, shall we? We are going to be talking about the ProRevenge. So let's start. This one's called Guys Take Advantage of Special Needs Person and Becomes Homeless. Sorry about format and spelling. I'm on mobile and just stupid, lol. Well, mobile is a lot harder to type on rather than a computer, but anyway, we'll give it a try. K. EW equals entitled worker, age is awesome guy, and D of course is my dad. This is not my story but my dad's. So my dad is the manager of a security at a big electric company. He often hires and fires people, but he hates firing people because my dad used to be a cop and hates seeing people homeless. This comes into play. So about a month ago, Dad hired a worker with special needs. Awesome guy. But was one of the best people he ever hired. Dad said he'd never failed to complete a task successfully, hasn't missed a day of work, and shows up every day on time with a smile. That's nice. Dad loves him, but Dad also has another employee, entitled worker. Entitled worker seems to think that his job is meant for his co-workers and for him to play games and watch porn on his computer at work. Really? Somebody's actually watching porn at work? Oh my god. So awesome guy's main job is to check people in and out of the complex front gate, check IDs, inspect unknown people's vehicles, etc. But entitled worker is right after him on their rotation, so as awesome guy is leaving, entitled worker is stepping in. One night as awesome guy is leaving, entitled worker says to awesome guy, hey, I have a family emergency, I need to go out, could you cover? Awesome guy, of course. Awesome guy loved helping people and didn't mind staying later, as didn't have any plans. Nothing's wrong, right? Nope. Entitled worker every day would have a new excuse on why he couldn't stay late, and every day awesome guy would be happy to help. Well, one day Dad and awesome guy were eating lunch together. These grown men exclude him like 5 years old, but Dad likes to be his buddy, which is hard, because my dad, although kind-hearted, doesn't like speaking too much. Awesome guy told him how he helped entitled worker all week and was proud of his help, but concerned for entitled worker and how many family emergencies he had. Sounds like he's quite a gullible person to me. Well, not really good, as you got a person taking advantage of the fact that, he's vulnerable. Anyway, Dad was taken back by this. Dad saw entitled worker at the bar 2 times this week and other days and saw his Facebook post about him and his girlfriend's house. Dad was steaming. Dad was a giant guy, 6'6". Oh wow, that really is tall. I'm about to meet him. 250 pounds, ex-cop with some toned muscles. He scares the crap out of me, even when I drop food by accident, because he's a funny guy. So you can see how entitled worker career in Dad's field went. Not only did he get fired for taking advantage of co-workers and leaving on company hours, but when searching his desktop for stolen property, Dad saw a porn notification on his computer and that pushed him to fire him. Apparently this was the job keeping his head above water in rent, and was now homeless because of him getting fired. Dad heard about this and is very still upset. He is out on the streets, but I'd like to think he is suffering and starving. Awesome guy often comes over for dinner and loves my birds. Awesome guy got a raise and a promotion. He is an awesome guy. Well, you can't expect to get a job and expect other people to do it for you all the time, can you? If that's going to happen, you're obviously going to get fired. Anyway, let's move on to the next story, shall we? Short but sweet, steal from this blind art and make sure you don't see the revenge coming. This was 2013. I know it's been a while, but I just discovered Reddit posting, so here it goes. I wonder how many people has actually just discovered it, and it's been so long ago. Anyway, my husband at the time was my boyfriend. He had a blind aunt named B. She was very bright outlook on life and was trusting but cross her and she would snap. B was very wealthy from her own merits. She earned a huge amount of money in her 76 years. Anyway, every week we will take Auntie B to lunch once or twice a week. I will then learn about how she sees the world and ask her questions about how she does certain things, and she would always gladly answer. Well, B had a best friend who was a nurse, and B got sick from her diabetes. She went to hospice care. B appointed her friend as her nurse to live with her, and it seemed well till her credit cards went overdraft and she got random calls from creditors. Or at the time, she had no food but a fridge full of Pepsi when B never drank anything but water. I was suspicious, but I was an outsider, so I didn't say anything at first, till one day we bought Auntie B lunch. It was a tuna sandwich cut in half for her, already with some fries, her favourite from her favourite place at this point. She had 2 weeks to live. I often to cut the sandwich more so she could eat it in forks, but her nose took it into the kitchen instead. She brings it back on a plate, not cut, but it's only one half of the sandwich, and it has a huge bite out of it. I tell my, at the time, boyfriend her sandwich has been bitten into, and he goes, no effing way, but when he looked down, he was already eating it. So I get up, take her sandwich, and go to the kitchen to question the nurse. See her eating the rest of B's food, so I get mad and question her. She claims she thought it was for her. She was previously offered to buy her some food, and she refused. She gets mad and throws the sandwich on the floor and walks out. She says, I need to get B more tuna for her lunch tomorrow. Bye. Well, I tell my mother-in-law, who's a lawyer, and she checks B's bank account to find this nurse stole 45k, and that's 45,000. Wow. She's in big trouble. From her bank to furnish a new apartment she got. She bought new clothes and crap. So we called the cops and she gave back the credit card, proceeds to claim she did it because B told her she could to. HB comes out the house to say, woman, I'm blind. I couldn't see you robbing me, but the kid said you ate my sandwich too. Like a ducking monster. So I'm taking off my will and you're fired as my nurse and friend. B presses charges and the nurse lady went to jail. She still has to pay back the money to the inheritance holders, my husband and his brother. Moral, don't steal from the blind and don't eat their food in front of people who can clearly see you do it. I've read so many stories about this though. Sorry about just taking a drink. Yeah, I've read so many stories about that, people who are actually carers, and they like to take advantage of the people they're caring for and steal money from them. Well, I do hope she serves her time. Anyway, let's move on to the next one. The single dumbest criminal I've ever heard of. Before I even begin, I have to say this isn't my story. I have permission to post a story from a very old man I became friends with while driving a 62-ton truck and going to small car shows. It's easily his favourite car story and he wants it to be out there somewhere before he checks out for good. Good for him. Given his age, I can't be certain of the details. I'm only going off what he tells me. To set up, this took place in 1959, around the start of the school year. OP will be my friend, and at the time he has a red 1958 Plymouth Belvedere. I think that's how you pronounce it. Like Christine, if you ever seen that movie. Oh, I love that movie. They do. He had this jerk who we'll call C, who loved to try to mess with people, but he was never really good at it. Things like trying to take out mailboxes but running into ditches, putting chewed gum in the wrong lockers, and getting rejected by the girls who owned it. Ridiculous stuff. OP loved making jokes about it and saying, well, you could have messed up like that, C, right? C wanted revenge and thought the car was a perfect way to do it. After school, OP comes to find that a big hammer was lodged straight into the leftmost headlight. It was absolutely stuck, however, that was it. OP knew it was C, not because of fingerprints, not because of the ability to break down the situation, or just because his name is carved into the wooden handle. Wow, how dumb can you really be to carve your own name into the handle? Wow. His car did have some damage to the front from past experience, so he managed to take the hammer out, pop a few shots at the already damaged car, finished busting the windshield, and finally got the cops. This way, even though each scratch wasn't the hammer, the whole thing will need to be repaired at once. Clever guy, very clever guy. Almost everybody, including C's father and each of his teachers, conceded that all the damage had to be with C. Only a few of his hillbilly friends tried to defend him. The judges even scolded him for not only being a criminal, but complete moron at the same time for leaving his own name at the scene. OP says the judge looked like Colonel Sanders dressed in black and red as his car. Basically, his car got a full restoration with both repairs and extra money from the trial, plus a few beers for the road. OP's only regret that C didn't wait a few decades. That Belvedere is sitting in his barn under top from wear and tear. I really wanted to buy it, but it's an emotional thing, so I won't bother him. Well, that was a good story. So he decides to destroy his friend's car, but he leaves his name in a hammer in the headlight. So as revenge, the guy decides, well, if you're gonna wreck my headlight, I'm not just gonna make you pay for a new headlight, but I'm gonna make you pay for a new restoration of the car. And it's actually quite brilliant. Anyway guys, that's all the time I've got for now. If you enjoyed today's video, then please do leave a like. If you'd like to see more, don't forget to subscribe and don't forget to click that bell notification. But until then, I shall see you all in the next video. Bye bye!